Today we are going to be removing the ceiling in this renovation house. There are a couple things we needed to do before we started taking down the drywall itself. We removed all the lighting fixtures, all the duct covers from the inside of the rooms, and I was up in the attic removing the ducting itself and a lot of trash that had been gathered up into the attic. If you're not going to be replacing your HVAC system or anything like that, you really don't have to remove the ducts. I'm doing that because I got a quote from my HVAC company and they would give me a discount to replace the unit if the ceiling was down, so that was just another incentive. Once we had removed all the ceiling fixtures, we made sure that the floors were clean. We wanted to make sure that we had good footing and we weren't going to have any tripping hazards in the house while we were removing the drywall from the ceiling. And then we got started. I will say, this was the fastest part of the job. That so much goes into the prep work and making sure that everything's ready to go, but once you get to pulling down the drywall, it was so easy. The room that we're currently working in is about 12 by 12, and it took us maybe 10-15 minutes to get all the drywall down and clean up the floor. After that, we moved right into the living room and did the exact same thing. I was pushing on stuff from the attic and they were working down below, either helping me remove the drywall from the ladder or carrying the pieces outside. Since this is an older house, the drywall was held on with nails. Some of the nails came off with the drywall and some of them held into the joists. As you can see, those little white spots still hanging onto those 2x4s. Overall, the drywall came down super easy and we were left with a fairly empty room within a matter of about 30 minutes on this part. I rented a dump trailer for the day to hold all the drywall. That way we could take it to the dump pretty quickly and make sure that we could unload in a reasonable pace. Once we cleaned the floors again, I started pulling those nails. There were going to be a lot of them, and instead of making them do that, I went ahead and did all of that myself because that's such a monotonous job. Pulling all those nails was very similar to pulling all the staples out of the back 2 bedrooms from the carpet padding that was left over. It's just one of those jobs that takes a lot of time and is very repetitive. By the time that the day was over, my shoulder was aching so bad just from pulling all those nails. Now, what am I going to do with you? Big old boy. With the ceiling down, I could see a little bit better what was going on in the attic. I got the furnace completely disassembled and I started pulling it over to the attic access. We're going to have to take it down. I didn't know how I was going to do it yet, but I thought I could at least get it a little bit closer to the hatch. Well, that was a mess. We got the 3 bedrooms done and the whole living room. The truck is headed to the landfill right now. They're closing in about 10 minutes and it takes about 20 to get there. I called the people who were working the desk. They said they would hold it open for us, and yeah, I need to give them a tip. Seeing how little time that took and how much time it's going to save me in putting things back together as far as the electrical is concerned, definitely think it's worth it. I'll get a better feel once I start putting the drywall up again with the hoist. But I think it'll be okay. I think it's a good decision. We're back the next day for round 2, and the only rooms that we have left are the bathroom and the kitchen ceiling. What I'm currently doing is knocking down the kitchen ceiling, and I couldn't really get much help on this from below because at this point, I don't know if you've seen it, my kitchen floor is non-existent. I just have the joists and the dirt below. So I was kind of left to do this one by myself while the guys were taking the bathroom down. So the attic was definitely less claustrophobic with no drywall up there. And in fact, I actually really enjoyed the look of the decking on this house. With the kitchen done though, I moved over into the bathroom and helped start punching down what was left of the drywall in the bathroom. I know you've already thought it. This is not the best way to get the drywall down. It wasn't the most efficient. It wasn't probably the fastest, but I was actually just really enjoying kicking it and punching it from the top. So don't judge. That was my decision. And I would do it again. This house started looking completely different whenever there were no walls up anymore. We took down both the bathroom walls, as you can see right there, and I started getting crazy ideas about maybe shifting where some of the walls were, making the bathroom bigger, maybe making the third bedroom more of a utility room and making it smaller. That would have been so much work. I wasn't up for it, so we left the walls alone, and that's just the floor pan we're going to work with. The last bit of drywall to come down was this hallway, and it was just because we needed to get to some light switches. Otherwise, I would have probably left it up. With the bulk of the mess gone, the ceilings and the walls taken down, we started loading up the trailer and taking a break. I'm still thankful for the help that I got from these guys. They worked so hard and for so many hours that day. I was extremely thankful. They ended up taking off, and I stayed behind to do a little bit more cleaning up and just to kind of marvel at the openness of the house now. It sounds kind of silly, but it looked so foreign without the drywall. I think we had 3 walls left that weren't taken down. That was the living room, the hallway, and I think mostly the insides of the closets were all that were left. Knowing how hard it was to pull just those few things of wire up into the attic before I had the ceiling down, I knew how much better it was going to be to rewire the house with full access from the ground. I had to crawl previously, now I could just move a ladder and stand up. I was actually excited to start working on the electrical again. We got everything torn down except the few walls that remain in the living room and the insides of the closets. The walls that are still in the living room were in pretty good shape and maybe need 1 or 2 patches. Totally okay leaving that up. The studs in the bathroom mostly needed to be replaced. Between that and it just being a complete patch job, I decided to gut the entire bathroom. We made really quick work of all this. It took maybe an hour and a half to do the complete teardown, including the cleanup. I need to say thank you to everyone who came to help me. These last 2 days have been really productive, and I couldn't have done it without your help. I'm going to get down now before I hurt myself. I still have some sweeping to do, and I have a lot more nails to pull out of the ceiling. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with that. I'll do that to my own time and listen to my podcasts. Let's go. You got a lot of nerve coming back here, kitty. What did I say about showing up uninvited? Oh, okay. I can't seem to keep animals out of my house. It's a recurring theme, and it's kind of strange, to be honest. All in all, I think we had a really productive weekend, and I'm super happy with the progress that we made. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you renovate the like button by painting it blue. If you want to follow this renovation from start to finish, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to reading your comments down below. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.